Hello everyone, welcome to some Christmas Dotes presented by Maincast here in the Winter Brawl, sponsored by GGBet. We are ready for some, what's the word I'm looking for? Native, festive Dota to go on here, right?
Native?
Native and what's the word? Nativity kind of thing. I don't know what the word is. It's what people like. They throw in a bunch of words that make it sound Christmassy. All you need to know is Dota is back. We have some professional or aspiring professional players here. And as you can hear in the background, right? He's my little what's it called? What's the bell ringing thing? Is it oh, I can't remember what it's called. The one that you're making the noise for. I don't know what that instrument's called. Whatever. He's
the instrument. Did you just say the instrument that makes noise? Is that what
that makes the noise that you're making? All right, like that guy making noise right there, guys. That's Lizard. I'm Killer Pigeon. We're here. This is Dota. I don't know about you, Liz. I thought I was done for you. I thought I was just gonna sit out, crying in a corner, papegering.
Dude, I saw a person burglaring my house the other night, and I thought I was done for my life.
Well,
I thought I was done not only for the year.
Well, you got an extra present out of that though, right, Liz?
Yeah, he left his shoes, so that's cool. In any case, it was a very interesting Christmas for me, but this tournament is gonna make the holidays even more interesting. Well, we have some pretty cool teams, we have some known teams, we have some unknown boys as well, like Modus Unity. What does that even mean, Modus Unity? Are they like some mode in which they all unite and they form one, I don't know,
whatever Modus is, I don't know.
Mode, I guess it's a fancy way it's a nerd way of saying mode.
Maybe, like, I remember there was like that really popular MMO called MU Online for like years ago. Maybe they're just bigger nerds than what we are in Dota, and they came from there.
MU was basically popular when I was a kid. My brother used to basically what you would do in that game, it's hack and slash, but it's like creeps keep on respawning. So what you would do is you would select some AoE ability and just put something very heavy on your right click, and then you just go away and you come back later with max level out character or something. I can't remember.
Okay, so it's more like you could just have a simple bot performing the hero, a bit like Treant Protector right now.
Exactly. Like Treant Protector right now, this guy, what do you think? Like, he's been nerfed. I mean, first and foremost, he got buffed. He got buffed super hard. Treant Protector has given me around 200 free MMR. You just pick that hero on any position and you just win. It's pretty much broken. But then it got nerfed a little bit. You require a little bit more mana for all of your spells, which does make it like harder to buy those starting items that make you broken instantly on the lane. But
you have your own Courier now, so
yeah, exactly. So you can send that early on too. But overall, I think the hero is still strong. Position 4, 5, or 3, I think it's very viable. And Drow Ranger as well is pretty good. I believe both of these teams are playing your classic pub meta right now. This is 100% pub meta in my opinion.
Yeah.
What they're picking.
Like, those two combined on lane, I think, like, all the time when I'm seeing Treant, it's usually Drow being picked alongside it. Because these two, between them, have a lot of slow on the lane. Could kill almost any offlaner.
Yeah, look at that. And the Centaur as well is so good as it's going to allow you to disengage or re-engage in a team fight. Drow Ranger always benefits from that. And on the other side, like, we were talking about Team Singularity and their picks, but Modus Unity, they also have, like, the flavor of the meta picks. You have your Doom. This hero, I'm telling you, KP, if you believe in RNGesus, and if you're good at finding wolves,
yep,
you just win. This hero, find a wolf and kill everything in the first 5 minutes of the map. Like, there is literally, you crit once for 200 damage, suddenly they're done in the lane. It's crazy.
See, you get it, Liz, right? I've been trying POS 4 Doom in my games, right? And I run around. I was like, you're useless. I'm like, no. I just haven't RNG'd a wolf yet, okay? I'll go check their jungle. I'll be back by the end of the laning phase, and maybe I'll be able to click something. It's kind of ridiculous that you can devour that wolf at level 1.
Yeah, that wolf is really strong. But then again, you need to walk far away from the lane, and if you don't find it, you're kind of doomed, you know? I mean, you can still work around it, but finding that wolf definitely makes your game a whole lot easier. You start with like 2 Ring of Regions or Ring of Region and Venom. Sorry, not Ring of Region, Ring of Protection and Orb of Venom, or just Orb of Venom, or a Buckler and Tangos. Like there's so many options as long as you stack up on that armor so that you can dive that tier 1 early on, because you will be diving that tier 1. But enough of Doom. Shadow Fiend also buffed. He has his um, Requiem reworked, obviously. You now have to run in fear after he connects with that. Makes the hero a lot more viable, I think. That change alone makes the hero pretty solid.
Yeah, it was an interesting switchover because technically they nerfed his Requiem Bomb Yules combo because they added in the hitbox at the base of Yules. But by giving him this function, all of a sudden, Shadow Fiend, he has the means of getting people off him. He can actually control people in a fight. It's a not a completely different hero, but I think step 1, this hero still feels like he has a lot of issues on what items to build.
Yeah, you still have to itemize properly. Sometimes you end up being that glass cannon, which is pretty good if you have a lot of tanks in front of you, if you have a lot of control. But if you don't, even when you pop that BKB, you just disappear from the face of the map. So it's still a hero that I really think you need to play super well around. However, when you're playing Lycan, you don't have to play super well around him. This hero is pretty much straightforward. Get to the knight, get a couple of items, and just go straight for the objectives. I think the point of this Lycan as well is to run down the Drow Ranger, right? You have the Centaur, you have the tree, you have a lot of control from them. So, yeah.
That's true. Lycan has kind of shifted roles. It used to be when we saw a lot of Lycan, it was just all about pushing buildings. Now there seems to be a shift towards this kind of backline stabbing hero that wants to fight. Which was kind of amplified with the change of the Helm of Dominator, right? Now that gives the damage aura, and a lot of the creeps got buffed in a way that supports more aggressive plays as opposed to split push plays with the creep.
That damage aura is pretty legit on Dominator, actually. Like it's pretty good. Not shabby at all. A hero that is a little bit interesting on Team Singularity is Shadow Demon, that's been picked up later on, actually as a 4th pick. Does combo fairly well with Centaur, as you can set up the disruption into the stun, right? But overall, I don't see like one big reason why it's been picked. So I'll just have to wait and see what Singularity does with it. While Modus Unity, they pick up a Dazzle. I mean, you can see that their lineup is pretty much straightforward. They want to dominate the mid game. They have a very easy to read lineup when it comes to what they want to do. They have a lot of utility, a lot of heals, and a lot of pushing potential, which they want to utilize in that mid game. Team Singularity, let's see what they pick last. What do you think? Well, I guess something for Zitrax or Excalibur for mid.
Yeah, I'm thinking the mid is the target here. SF matchups that are favorable, something like Queen of Pain could maybe work okay against this lineup, but there's still a Doom to worry about. So you probably want someone a bit more bulky that can just actually right-click back as well.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the bans at all, as we wasted a little bit of our time on the Killer Pigeon plus Lizard podcast.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about, okay? We were just catching up. It's a bit... Okay.
All right. On one side, we have full run at you team lineup. On the other side, we have let's chill and farm, boys. Let's chill and farm forever. Because, by the way, Drow Ranger Zitrax, this guy.
That's all he plays. It's literally all he plays.
Exactly. This guy basically came into the scene by playing Drow Ranger. And not even in this patch, but you remember when she just became broken, when people would take Drow and go into the Ancients and just kill them.
Yeah, he was like first on that, I think. Because he just wanted to play the hero anyway.
Yeah, that's when he actually became a player. That's when Zitrax that's when Zitrax went from being rank 4000 to rank 1. I'm kidding. Like he was still somewhere around that ballpark, but never really breaking through. This hero definitely did allow him to make it to the let's call it big scene, at least when it comes to pubs.
Yeah, it's like think Arise with Magnus, Zitrax was the Drow, right? It was that kind of motion. But
yeah, but
fairness,
there was no dumpstering involved in Zitrax's
well,
in Zitrax's career, at least not so far.
No. Although, in fairness to him, he hasn't risen too high yet to be kicked low. But there's still plenty of time. I think he's pretty young. He's only been showing for about a year and a half now, I think it is, max. So we'll need time to make that work.
I believe even like a year max on from Ztrax, so we'll see.
Actually, having a look at the odds right now. So looks like Team Singularity, no surprise, they're a bit more favored, but it's 1.6 to 2.25 odds all in all. By the way, if you guys do want to spend some of your Christmas cash, you can do that over at GGBet. They're sponsoring this tournament. Be responsible.
Or you can just send it to me at PayPal, admir_sa@hotmail.com. Thank you.
You saw the hesitation. He couldn't even remember his own email address. We do need to get Admir a higher form of education. We're going to get him that degree one day.
Hey, the way I am going, I don't think that degree is going to happen.
Hey, dude, I've got a degree and all I do is wear a paper hat while I talk into a microphone about Dotes.
Yeah. It's still a fun way to spend your day, especially watching DNZ as he runs into TSA and kicked.
That's a dead target. Can he actually get? He should be able to. They're standing in the grass. That does do a lot of work. One more punch to bring it down. DNZ, is it going to be him or her? No. Oh, he gets juked out. Too much slow coming in. And it looks like first blood is drawn against the train in the trees. Not something you see often.
That's definitely not something you see often. Tree dying among his brothers in the tree. And it's DNZ. It's a Croatian tree, so I understand. By the way, this guy is from Croatia. They don't have a lot of trees there. It's mostly like barren lands and ocean and
mountains and beaches. Yeah,
mountains and beaches. Yeah. By the way, I love this guy. I'm just kidding. DNZ, you're the best, bro. Just keep it up.
It was just tactical. Look, Liz, he's going to bring out the slippers, the Ztrax anyways. Like, if anyone's going to win us this game, it's the man who knows Drow best.
But you see, this is what I was talking about. He started the Turbo Venom and he had to buy a mango. Like one patch ago, one
sub patch
ago, you didn't have to buy a mango and you could buy a ring of protection or something similar, and then you can actually trade a little bit better. Oh, they don't deny the range creep. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, that's one of the other big benefits that a lot of people don't complain about the train is they always talk about this ability to run down in the lane. They don't really consider the fact of how easy it is to deny with this hero.
But there we go, the first courier.
Oh, okay, that didn't take long.
But he's gonna die.
All right, a little bit of a trade going on here.
Yeah, so it is your position 4 Shadow Demon with the Centaur, and this lane is difficult to play against. What are you watching, by the way? What lane are we gonna watch?
I'm following you where you want to go. I mean, there's not much happening mid. It's just gonna be farm fiesta back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, Excalibur is actually doing quite well so far, but it's, I mean, level 1 Shadow Fiend. Now that he's level 2, it's gonna be easier for him, obviously, and I wonder when Medusa is going to just fall back into the jungle and farm that out.
It should be pointed out that Medusa can be more aggressive with the changes to this hero, now being able to actually use Stone Gaze more productively. Also, we've seen what happens when you put a ranged hero with Drow. We've seen it with Viper, we've seen it with Dragon Knight. Medusa's a Nagi hero. She'd benefit from the marksmanship a lot as well.
Yeah. Also remember that marksmanship has been reworked, and you have multi-shot on Ztrax, bottom lane, and TSA.
I get it. One more hit needed. Oh, they get it with the grass.
Yeah, that grass actually is filthy. Got him. By the way, what do you think about the grasses? Oh, did they change it?
I think they changed it because before it looked like a tacky version of Dark Wit. What? All right. Solo kill mid as Excalibur got a little bit greedy.
I don't know if there was some grass involved in this solo kill mid, but
I think maybe there was some grass jammed in his mouse sensor there because this is not a hero that you usually expect to get killed by an SF.
Some very strong grass right there. Oh, top lane has to Joe. He has to be careful. He just runs into the Dazzle's Shadow Wave. But I honestly didn't expect Excalibur to die mid lane versus Young G. I've seen Young G around in pubs and some tier 3 teams, but not really often. So I don't really know how skilled this guy is. But right now, he got the first blood. He must be feeling very happy.
Yeah, we've seen what SFs can do as well. We've seen plenty of CIS players that love SF, and once you get one kill, there's a hard snowball effect. Although there is a backfire potential, right? Like if you gank this hero, you kill him off, it evens up again. But it's always been this awkward hero. No matter how much you gank him, he always just recovers, right? It's like, all right, I'll just go back to the jungle, farm up, max souls again, and you once again have your power spike.
Yeah, he always recovers, and even when he gets a good start, if he itemizes poorly, it doesn't matter. Top lane, Dazzle.
He's low. We'll run him down. They actually need 2 poison stacks here, or 1 big club from a center.
Yeah. So what's happening when it comes to CS? SF is pulling a little bit away from the Medusa, but he's followed by 2 Radiant heroes, the Centaur and the Drow Ranger. But Drow Ranger and Lycan are kind of on the same. So it's a little bit even on the lanes, but we have to consider the fact that SF got the first blood. So I guess Modus Unity, they're winning 2 out of 3 lanes.
Yeah.
Slightly, though. Slight advantage.
I mean, in fairness, it was the first blood in his lane, right? It's not like he got the huge gold influx, as that was the Drow train lane backfiring very oddly at level 1. So all in all, not too bad. Doom, a hero that can get active, but I don't know. Doom feels like it's very build dependent on whether you're active quickly. I've seen some more greedy Dooms.
Well,
I've seen some diving Dooms right now who want to die. He'll get the kill first.
That's super worth it for him. He gets a kill first, so he gets all the experience, goes back. I guess Tree is a bit happy that he got a lot of XP there too, but...
He's carry, isn't right now.
But man, SF is just completely stomping this lane right now. He found the double damage, and after that double damage has been acquired by him, Medusa has to run to jungle. That's it. Like, Excalibur's lane is done. He's done on this mid lane.
Yeah, and ganking isn't the easiest thing because you either have to bring 2 supports or you need to go for like a slow attrition battle, right? Because you think of heroes that can nuke someone down and punish them with 1 support rotating. Medusa's not one of them. She just wants to slowly poke and prod to win the lane.
And your supports on the side of Singularity aren't that great when it comes to ganking.
No.
Like, you have Tree and Shadow Demon. And you don't have the Shadow Demon
Yeah,
anymore.
he's gone. He at least got his bounty rune. It did cost him dearly.
It's the Lycan plus Dazzle combo. It's the most old school combo when it comes to Shadow Wave, right? You surround him with wolves, you Shadow Waves, he takes so much damage, he just dies.
Especially effective against the Shadow Demon saves as well, right? Like you orb someone to keep them safe with the disruption, and they come out into a giant heal bomb.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to stick SD mid now, try and get him a quick 6, because Medusa's just done.
This is always what happens when your mid lane loses hard. You have to sacrifice your off lane or your safe lane too, because while your mid laner is recovering in the jungle, someone needs to defend that tower, right? So it's kind of a domino effect in which many teams find themselves trapped in.
Yeah, it's got kind of the flex angle as well, right? Like if you can actually sustain on the lane without dying as a support, then you get quick XP intake. And oh, he actually did catch him there.
Yeah, but if your offlaner is a beast, such as Hestejo, he just dominates the offlane on his own, kills that support.
Well, I looked away from it because it looked like he might be clear on the Dazzle, but I guess he kept hitting him. Thus, Hestejo got max retaliate stacks.
Exactly, he was trying to refresh the poison stacks, so Hestejo just kept up and got him in the end. But they will rotate all 3 heroes right now towards the bottom lane, and I'm not... Let's see if Zitrax actually gets killed here, because DNZ, he rotated out of this lane, and Zitrax should be...
He should be dead.
More careful, yeah.
He has no points in the Gust. They'll just drag him back, club him in the face, and kill him off. The Stampede won't save his life. Might get some revenge, though, as a TP rotation comes in, but Kiki moves away in time.
Actually, Modus Unity, they're rotating very well, and they're making all the right moves. I'm not gonna say that... Or... Dazzle?
They might lose a little someone here. Or is he baying him? He might try. They haven't got the lift, though, is the thing. And the Orb of Venom will tick him out. If he keeps the poison going... Yeah, they know there's a ward here now, but... DSA is not leaving without a kill. In fact, Young G comes across and gets it. Hasn't got the raised follow-up, though, so he'll back off.
Young G is styling, but the Rubik might fall here. One more.
It's 4. There's the 5. Goodbye.
You could have dodged that. You even have the ward. He could have, but he didn't. That's what matters. Top lane, there is the first Lycan form used.
Yeah, like, I mean, you have got the Centaur Stomp. One Centaur's already used his, but it's still not the easiest kill to get.
Micro.
Oh, there we
Micro.
go. He's not going to give over too quickly.
I mean, even a tanky Centaur just falls to that. However, at the same time, that's the first Lycan forms used. And... like, you could argue that this is a good skill, but at the same time, if you rotate bottom with this Lycan, if you use that form to pressure the Drow and the tower, you're gonna kill her again. She doesn't have a port because she just recently ported bottom. Then you would be able to pressure the tier 1 too. I don't know. Like, it's a good kill. It's a good kill. Let's leave it at that. Could that form be used in a more objective kind of a manner. I think so, but yeah, it's fine.
Kiki?
Bottom lane, yeah.
They might get this dazzle. Oh, they can't find the final touch. Meanwhile, as I said, bot lane, Doom will go down. And I'm had a lot of time wasted, but his team still gets a kill elsewhere.
I swear, this guy on Doom, I used to think for 2 years straight that that's Phobos, DK Phobos.
Oh, is this fake Phobos?
I literally thought.
Oh,
it's
you just misread it.
I mean, his nickname is DK Fogas, so
Yeah.
it's pretty damn similar. Top lane.
Hein will likely go down here. It's just a matter of whether he can take someone with him. It doesn't look like there's enough there, though.
And bottom lane, DK fake Phobos.
Oh, fake Phobos is in trouble, actually. One more hit will bring him down. He throws out the Doom. It's going to be wasted, though, because the Stampede will get Drow away.
Yeah, you see, that's definitely fake Phobos. Real Phobos wouldn't use Doom there. Like, he was stampeded, like, already. And also, Centaur is definitely good versus Doom because of that, too. You get doomed, Centaur pops his Stampede, and you just say, goodbye, sir. I'm gonna go back. But with this rotation towards the bottom lane, perhaps they can finally pressure a tier 1, as Centaur is almost taking the top one on his own.
Yeah, this is in for prep for the outpost. That was the other thing that I think wasn't too bad about Lycan Shapeshift earlier, by the way, is he knew he'd have it available for the 10-minute mark, which is when you are hoping to have your ultimates available for the outpost contest.
Do you really think that he planned it?
Yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That was the big brain play, all right? It's just, it seems small brain because it's so big brain.
All right, it's very big brain.
DNZ is close to looking small brain, but we'll move away in time.
He can walk through trees, man. He's fine. He's good.
Hey, not if they break those trees. Rubik lift. Makes you kill your own children and then exposes you as well. He actually wants to go for this.
Yeah, they have overgrowth there.
Yep, they got that shapeshift. He's actually going to go in. Go for the stomp. He wants to go for play. There's the heal bomb coming out. Excalibur has to run away quickly. We'll be able to move off as he has the haste rune. In the meantime, Doom goes down the top lane. Resuming in the bot. DNZ is actually baiting him in. Galagrave will come out, but Excalibur, they can't pursue him any further.
What?
Was that the arrow? That was the indirect attack, right?
Yeah, it was just split shots. Dazzle was there, like, trying to heal up his Lycan, and he kind of forgot that he has to stay alive as well in order to do that, and he just fell. I mean, it happens. Sometimes when you're a Dazzle, you're so selfless, you're focusing on helping your allies, and your life is rough. It's very rough to be a Dazzle sometimes, especially when your carries are mindlessly just going towards Duza. A Duza that's much stronger right now than she used to be at this point in the game.
And it should be pointed out, that's without a Drow next to her. Once the side of Singularity start 5-manning, the damage output of this Medusa with a Drow behind her is absurd.
So let's see. They have a Centaur and 3 for control. They have Medusa and Drow. The only thing that they're kind of lacking is stuns. They have what? They have Disruption, which is can be considered one, right? And you have Centaur stun. That's it. So they have all they need to stay in front of this Medusa and the Drow and save them. The only problem is this Lycan. Is he going to be able to just rotate from behind and cut through their lines? He didn't really manage to do that last time, so we'll see. And also keep in mind that even though they're the ones with Dazzle Lycan strategy, they haven't really taken too many objectives. Only one tier 1 so far, 12 minutes into the game.
That's true. I think the other thing to maybe look at as well is that the root is really useful against Modus here, because Lycan maybe eventually gets to BKB, doesn't necessarily want to. SF can build into it, but your other heroes...
I mean, even if you get the BKB, so what? You can still use it, right? You can still get it. So
as long as he doesn't like pre-root and then you BKB it off. But yeah, that's kind of the awkward part, though.
DNZ is my bro. He's my Croatian tree. He knows when to root. Trust me.
Oh.
He's fine. Maybe he's being distracted a little bit because it's general election time right now in Croatia. So maybe his mind is not in the right place. But I think he's got this.
Does he really come outside? You're a gamer. You don't really go outside. You don't know what's going on in the real world. All right. You just know what's going on in the Dota world. And what's going on in the Dota world is they're posturing at this tier 1.
So you're saying if you're playing Dota, the only thing you're voting for is Arcanas and who's going to win the votes there.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And then you don't have a job because you spend all day playing Dota, but you're not just yet a professional if you're like me. And then you don't know how you're going to afford a very expensive Arcana. It's a hard life, Liz.
Paper hands. Oh, let's see if it's hard life for...
That's what's going to be ran down. Oh, there's the root coming out. Lycan in trouble as well. The stomp follow-up brings him down. And Medusa just got a solo kill on Dazzle in the river while that was happening. And plus 200 gold for Zitrax.
And also, that Lycan just used his form. And this is the situation in which I have to worry for Modus Unity. Like, I don't know these guys, and obviously, I underrate them, right? Like, from the get-go. I mean, I know them from pubs, but I haven't seen them really very often as a team.
I think the bigger issue is, like, you're looking at these guys, and it almost feels like they don't know each other, because you had the SF mid, the Doom is top, and they're connecting for a kill around the Lycan.
Yeah, it's strange. Some strange moves are happening from them. I think they caught themselves in that situation in which SF has done pretty well for himself in the laning stage, but he hasn't really contributed after. He's found a couple of items. He's built a Yasha drums into BKB, but maybe he can take down this tower. Let's see.
They'll try and slow it down a little bit, but it's a little bit too hard. Does have the DD, so they'll just back up completely and give him a little bit of space. Worthwhile as well, because Modus did rotate their entire team towards the mid for that.
Yeah, I think they're just missing their timing a little bit. Centaur Hestejo, he's moving towards Crimson Guard. He's gonna have that Crimson Guard very soon. Suddenly, Lycan isn't as much of a problem. It's going to be much easier to play versus Modus Unity, and it's not like they had many problems so far, at least.
No, it's that kind of thing that's become a new development in the pro scene. Is teams trying to prioritize two item timing in synchronicity, right? So like, maybe you'll see the Drow get the Hurricane Pike complete, and at the same time the Medusa will have the Manta, and then you're ready to do something with that.
They found a Grove Bow as well on Medusa. That's pretty good, I guess. You can give it to Drow or use it yourself, right?
It works well with the Mystic Snake on yourself, right?
Yeah, I think so. Does it? I mean, he didn't put it in his inventory yet. I wonder, does the split shot work with the group?
No, I think it's the primary target, if I remember correctly. Also, the problem he's having is, like, how is Grove Bow better than stats on Medusa, right? It's like, it's a hard choice. I guess he gets rid of the Arcane Ring like he's doing now, though. Give that to a support. Overgrowth coming out. Requiem being charged up, and the Stampede will allow Medusa to run away even quicker after pressing the Stone Gaze, and all of a sudden DNZ has no mana to work with, so SF should escape. Meanwhile, top, though, there's a Doom thrown out, and a Drow has been found.
This is the first good play by Modus Unity, I think, so far. I mean, first good situation for them. SF survives, and at the same time, they get the Drow on top lane. They needed to get some kills, and perhaps they can turn it even into more, yeah.
Yeah, she has
no Stone Gaze.
And they know this. They activate Shapeshift, and on they go. Do some Manta, tries to dodge them out and block their route, but it's forced to stand their ground and die. The things come out. Can they get DNZ?
They know where DNZ is, but it's difficult.
There's
so many trees. Yeah, there's so many trees around here. But at the same time, Excalibur, sir, I guess he thought that they might have rotated somewhere away, and he just got caught off guard. They have no vision around here, so it's peculiar that he tried to go deeper there without Stone Gaze.
Maybe he thought they didn't see the Stone Gaze get used. That's the only thing I can think of, because that was an overly aggressive positioning for someone without any protection.
Yeah, and suddenly from having the game completely in control, you're losing a tier 2. Centaur doesn't have his ulti to work with, so he might try to go for something here.
This is a bit bold. They don't actually have the speed to move across. DNZ's trying to slow him down, so the tracks will come on with the split arrows, and there's a Stomp. They connect on the Lycan. Looks like they'll be able to bring him down. Ein is already on the way looking for a secondary kill, but doesn't have the range to capture them. So, one kill for the tower. That's Lycan's job done, really.
Yeah, Lycan dies in the end. He didn't have Shapeshift, so he's pretty much the easiest one to catch. He doesn't have boots, so it's difficult for him to fall back. He needed to TP out immediately. Even without Stampede, they caught him. I think what I would like to see on DNZ is a Blink Dagger. I think they lack that initiation catch as well. So Centaur Blink or Tree Blink is definitely necessary for them.
Yeah, Hestejo's getting close to his.
Yeah, just to catch them after these objective plays by Modus Unity, right? Modus Unity, they go for an objective, they use all their spells, then you need Blink Daggers to prevent them from retreating and just to punish them, right? So it would be good.
Yeah, as something you highlighted before is that Singularity have a lot of damage, but not much lockdown, so they need to maximize the potential they can do with the few spells they have. And instead, a lot of spells being thrown on to Hestejo. Use the Stampede, turn around with the Stomp, goes on to Doom. Split arrows are coming through. There's the shallow grave going out. The snake won't bounce around, but the purge is there. So at the end, he should be going pop. Can they heal him up enough? It's going to be close, but no cigar.
They got him.
That might enable a push and take down this tier 1. I don't know if Singularity are quite ready to go for Roche yet. If they find another kill, though, that does open up the window.
You definitely can. I mean, you have the damage to go for Roche, but Modus Unity, will they prevent you? Oh.
TSA won't make it through customs by the looks of it, as he's trapped inside the tree grass. We drag down to his death.
Did you just call it customs?
Yeah.
Won't make it through customs. So
TSA won't make it through, buddy.
I get it. I get it.
I don't know why it's called TSA, but sure. I don't think it's meant to be maybe meant to be SA. I don't know.
You just woke up my worst fears, man. I'm a Bosnian. I get molested on the border every time.
Hey, you think that's your fears, all right, mate? I'm losing my EU membership, buddy, all right?
I never had it.
Searched the whole time.
I was molded by not having EU passport. I never had it. What are you talking about?
You just got to get a better document forger, my friend.
I was born in this. You merely adopted it.
I think I'm being kind of being adopted by it, but permanently now, probably.
There's like a saying in Bosnia that EU will fall apart sooner than we will join it. And at this point, I honestly believe it. I don't know. They've been saying we're supposed to join it 15 years ago, and nothing's happening. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure similar promises have been being made by Cause or Modus. We'll be ready soon. And then other members are always going into these fights. Like,
yeah, we'll join, guys. We'll join the fights. We'll come. Just let me get one more item.
It's that moment when like, okay, Doom's got a blink dagger. This is a farming blink dagger though, and then you just got the BKB, I believe, on their SF. So this has to be your moment to fight. But now with an Aegis in the hands of Medusa, if Singularity choose to 5-man and just run at you, I'm not sure you can do anything about it right now. You have to give them a wide berth, right? Like if they come for this tier 1, tier 2 bot, you just have to try and dodge and get a split push going.
Looks like that's not the plan for them. Looks like they want to smoke up and try to cut them from behind, perhaps catch them off guard. But these creeps are just running on their own.
Doom straight out on center. Tree Grass to split up the fight a little bit. Doom is already halfway through his ultimate, and Centaur's not feeling. Now the overgrowth. Stone Gate's coming out, liking a little bit of trouble. Needs to turn around and start the fight. The heal bomb looks good on Excalibur. The Manta comes out. We'll stand a fight. The Aegis is going to be used up. Now Iron does arrive. The Purge goes out into Fergus. And Requiem being charged up the BKB, scaring away Medusa, burning through a mana quickly. The move works, and they find the kill. Drow still hasn't arrived in the fight and won't as she backs off in the end. They ping out in the tree line. But Hester Joe will be able to blink and TP out successfully.
I actually like that a lot from Hester Joe. I mean, from Doom, DK, fake Phobos, DK Fogas. He doomed the Centaur, so he cannot stampede them out, right? Even though they don't get the Centaur kill, they take down the Medusa.
They're going for more. Stomp's going to come out. TSA is hidden and protected by the Glimmer Cape. Hester Joe tries to move away. Lift's going to be there, though. Gus to try and buy him a bit of space. Does get the Stampede out, and that's going to be yoinked. Don't worry, boys. We're coming for you. Zitrax goes to the 4-staff down to the low ground. Can they find this? They can't get the range. It looks like Hester Joe does get out. However, Ein, he'll blink away. He did lose his courier, though.
He's just baiting them. He has a blink dagger as well to work with. However, he is followed by creeps now. And there's an Aeon disc. Sorry, Atrolance on Rubik, but he's not really fast enough. Yeah.
All right. He actually drags them away. That means they can't get a push on the bot, which is pretty painful for a Lycan lineup because there is a small window there where you can actually go and hit the high ground.
Yeah, pretty well played by Aina there. He just, I mean, you kind of expected from teams such as Modus Unity, right, to not really
focus on objective and just chase
focus on objectives and utilize their advantages properly, you know.
Yeah, you need like a clear, definitive voice yelling, "No, don't chase the idiot support. There's waste of time. Turn around. Go objective now, please."
Yeah, but at the same time,
they're going for objective. He's going to be forced to BKB. In fact, he doesn't even pop it.
I think he was surprised by the Soul Catcher. It took away so much of his HP, and he was. If he pops the BKB, he's still purged there, so it's difficult to run out.
That's true, but you could just TP out maybe, right? Like.
Yeah.
And he did have a haste. That's a bit surprising, and Rubik gets caught out as well. is on a coffee break in the Radiant jungle. They should have known to back off. The rest of the team do get out, and all of a sudden, Modus are back on the defensive.
Yeah, and now after they killed those two, they can go straight down for the tier 1. A pretty good kill. They also planted some wards, but we see the defensive wards here on the cliff from the R2. Look at that. Look at that Drow Ranger with the bonus range. Feels good. Hurricane Pike, Grove Bow.
It's actually not the dirtiest one. I think the dirtiest one still is Viper with the Grove Bow. Because he has that attack range talent as well, right?
And he benefits so much from the Magicamp, right?
Yep.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good on him.
Drow's still pretty high up on that list. And in fact, those two have been seen together a lot. We haven't really seen the Medusa and the Drow double up yet so far in this game. So we haven't seen either of them unlock their full potential, really.
We haven't really seen Singularity do a lot as a team. It's pretty much just been the speak-offs. But same can be said for Modus Unity. They had a couple of smoke actions, right? Which they did execute as a team, but they didn't really convert into any sort of an objective. And now Singularity, they're moving high ground.
Yeah. Singularity, I mean, it means singular pickoffs maybe, but maybe what they're talking about really is one singular fight to win the game. They're going to try and force something. The high ground will have to be defended. Stomp comes out to Doom to keep him away. The Purge is thrown out, and Rubik's just gone to the right clicks again. The support's not learning that actually split shot hurts a lot. And as a result, Dazzle should fall as well. Final hit comes out, he's dead. The root's out into focus as well. Fake focus needs to actually be aborted.
So much damage.
He'll be moved away, and they'll turn around and take the racks.
This will be one side, and after that they might retreat, but they might go for Throne. There's two tier 2s up. Yeah, it's safer. It's just safer to retreat afterwards. You have bounty runes to take. You can take next Aegis as well, wait for it. Or you can make a trap. Which will be scouted out by Wolves, though.
Yep. They do see side aiming. He only has dust as well. DNZ will back off after going pretty deep. They don't have any more wards on them, so yeah, this should be a full retreat. Take outposts, settle around Roche, get some wards down, and be ready to get that second Aegis and cheese.
Yeah, they're definitely not in a rush. I mean, they probably could just go down mid for the next high ground objective. They look very, very strong at the moment.
DNZ just spamming out the ultimate as they always do, and we'll be fine. Goes for the TP away, and they don't have the vision either. Oh, it's so close.
Yeah, he blinked right on top of him, but they didn't have any detection anyway. They didn't. I mean, Necros were around, but Wolf already took them a bit away. So.
And they didn't have the stomp, so they couldn't try and blind stun either. And oh, don't you just love it when Gabe just says this? Hey, you guys are gonna be in your base for a while, so here's a repair kit, and good luck with that.
It's pretty much like, okay, those guys have a Treant Protector. I'm gonna give you a buffed up Treant Protector as well, which you can only use 3 times, but still.
I'm pretty sure that's why they nerfed his living armor in the first place. Someone like created that neutral item, was really proud of themselves, and they went, oh, that's right, Treant is a hero. Let's just change him. You know, let's just change the hero. Make him more aggressive, less healing.
I don't know. I always feel a little bit bad when a hero is changed, you know, completely. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a heavy change. At least they gave him his walkthrough trees back. Doom comes out onto Centaur. Stone Gates to force him away, and Tico focuses the one going down quicker. The Requiem comes out to scare away the rest of Singularity. But do they get the kill? They're going to get him low. I don't think he's going to tick out to the Doom, though. It's going to be incredibly close. There's going to be disruption out. Overgrowth as well. And it looks like Centaur's going to live. Has a Stampede to work with. And he's going to throw it out. So they chase on a Young G. The Purge might finish him off, but they're stunned. Not good enough. Lycan will go down as well. And on the side, Rubik will join his teammates in the grave as it's almost a team wipe. But Young G gets away just in time.
Young G gets away, but man, your morale did not get away. You just feel
what
crushed
morale?
after that. What morale exactly? After that team fight, you have to feel crushed as Modus Unity. I think they initiated properly again on the Centaur. They weren't even connected on the side of Singularity properly.
No.
And then you did what you usually do as a Lycan. You went behind and you caught that Medusa. You were on top of her. But man, he just stood there and killed both him and Shadow Fiend almost. Shadow Fiend, he was lucky enough to escape, but Lycan just killed himself trying to attack the Medusa. Overall, I think you've reached a point in this game in which Modus Unity's lineup, it's just not... They're not supposed to be here. They're supposed to win this game 5 minutes ago, and they're playing from behind, so they're in a very difficult spot.
Yeah, the only way they get back into this is, say, the game goes another 15 minutes and you see Singularity lose 1 or 2 team fights. Because SF, with similar can do in the late game, it can bounce back a bit. But this Doom is feeling pretty starved. This Lycan, not looking good on the items. In fact, he's had this Hex queued for quite a while, had the Ultimate Orb for a long time, and he still doesn't have it completed.
They didn't get the Hex, but they did get the Mind Breaker on both sides. Shadow Demon has one, and I believe the other one is picked up, let's see by who, by Drow Ranger. So there's an Aghanims completed on Drow. Craggy Coat, which does take a little bit of her attack speed away.
She gets plenty from the marksmanship, though.
And she gets a lot of armor from it, so it's pretty good. Don't you love the Ironwood branch on Ironwood 3, actually, on 3 and Protector?
It's
so
it's
good.
broken. It's so good. I remember when I think Zayats was one of the players I was regularly seeing just start the game with Iron Branches in his inventory, so he could run across lanes.
It was pretty much necessary. If you were playing a position 4 treant, you had to go with a couple of branches. If you don't get branches, you can't rotate. I mean, you can, but it makes it much easier to rotate.
It's incredibly awkward to do it without. And also, Trent did pick up a Vlad's now, so we've seen how hard it is for Modus to pick off any of these targets. Now with the life still there as well, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, DNZ is actually doing very well for himself.
They can
Both
roast
of these
now.
supports are, yeah. You have Vlad's on 3, you have Blink Dagger, Atrolance, and Travels on Shadow Demon. These supports are rich. On the other side, I mean, Rubik has Glimmer and Atrolance, but it's not a lot, and Dazzle is just rocking his Bracer. So the supports alone are making, the supports alone on the side of Singularity are making a difference, a big difference.
Yeah, it's usually the most obvious place you see a difference, right? When the one team is losing convincingly, it's the supports that tend to suffer the most. You just get to a stage where you kind of have to throw your body at the situation. You still have decent value in these ones. Like, you can get some good steals, and there's also a Dazzle that has the protection of Shallow Grave. But your team doesn't really survive after Shallow Graves anyway. It's the worry. And this smoke, this is kind of like a do or die moment. They need to hit the back line before smoke breaks. They know that Drow's on the high ground. They just pinged it out.
There's a Hex on Lycan as well. Hex and Mindbreaker on him, so perhaps they can find the pick-off. They managed to do this once before.
See if they can do it again. They jump in. Doom out onto the right target. Centaur won't be able to disengage the team to Stampede. They're actually moving in a little bit deeper towards the tree line to hide here. Hex is going to come out straight on the tree and protect to try and get rid of him. The Howl as well. Going to get him low. We'll be able to pop him in time. The BKB, Young G, charging up the Requiem. 4 stuff away. Zitrax does get hit up by the Fear. Has to eat the cheese to stand and fight, but no marksmanship for him because they're on top of him. Stonegate's going to come out. Excalibur scaring him away. In the meantime, Dazzle's going to go down. Buyback will come out for him. Stomp onto 2 by Hester Joe. Beautifully done. Allows them to get on the Shadow Fiend, but no. He'll be the Mantra away. Nice lift coming out, and there's the disruption to save Zitrax from the follow-up damage. Requiem goes off from the death, actually, of Young G, as he can't do anything in the face of the Medusa again. This has been the issue the entire game.
GG, that's it. Dazzle, the only one with the buyback, he uses it, but his 2 cores do not have one to work with. And I believe from Modus Unity, they had, like, sometimes they would show some moments of brilliance, right? Like, some smokes would really be on point. But, like, their lineup is much harder to execute than Singularities. Or let's put it this way, their lineup isn't too difficult to execute, but if you make a couple of mistakes or you don't utilize that form properly, or your Lycan dies once or twice, suddenly you're so far behind that you can't really claw yourself back into the game. And even if you make a couple of good smokes like they did make, it still doesn't really mean a lot because you're still far behind when it comes to objective taking and where you should be in the match. So Modus Unity, yeah, they kind of performed as like to the level that I expected them to perform. Singularity, it wasn't too difficult of a game for them. They did make a couple of mistakes. That first blood on mid, some rotations got really punished. Medusa was out of position sometimes, but overall, fairly clean performance by them.
Yeah, I think it comes down to ease of execution, right? Like, you think of what you need to do with your heroes on the side of Singularity. If you kind of whiff your Overgrowth or your Stampede isn't on the mark, you still get use out of it. For Modus, they always have to Doom on the center, then you're just committed. Lycan has to get huge value out of his Shapeshift, where he doesn't do anything for the rest of the cooldown, right? Whereas Singularity, if Stone Gaze doesn't work out, we saw what happens. They just keep running at you.
There's just layers on layers of defensive abilities on Team Singularity.
Exactly.
If you doom the Centaur, he can be disrupted by Shadow Demon if you get on top of him, if you manage to lock him down somehow. And you have to doom the Centaur because if you don't, he's going to stampede anyone else out of the problems, right? And even if you manage to catch two of them, there's always DNZ there, DNZishka with the Overgrowth. So it was a difficult game for Modus Unity. Their lineup definitely wasn't easy to execute versus Team Singularities.
Well, nonetheless, Team Singularity, they do take the victory, and that's only the first of a bunch of best ones to occur here today. Next up, I'm just checking. It looks like we've got MR versus Fly to Moon.
That's gonna be hype.
That's the Dendy team. Yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
Hype.
So we'll go to a short break and then we'll return to that. You guys can actually prep yourself already, get some bets in if you want on GG Bet's website. They do have a 30% cashback going right now. Do bet responsibly, but I mean, it's Dendy. What could possibly go wrong? I'm sure you just infinitely win cash because Dendy power. All right, short break, then we'll be back with that game.